Alright, how's it going, VC? I'm back here again for another video, and this one is slightly different than most of the videos I've made, or most of the videos anyone in the VC has ever made, or that I've seen, because I've never seen videos like this in the VC, and this one is on artists and albums that I believe are underrated. And hopefully, by the time this video is over, you check out a lot of those artists, and hopefully even like them. Now, some of these you may have heard of already, some of these you may not have heard of, and some of these you might be like, what, those aren't underrated, everyone's heard of them. But I still think they deserve more credit, because I can't believe how many people haven't heard of them. Alright, so in the background is also, in addition to these underrated groups, that's Madam X with We Reserve the Right. Yeah. In my opinion, they are the most underrated metal band of all time. An awesome 80s glam metal band, or hair metal. You know what? I definitely don't understand why they never got famous. Well, they achieved moderate success, but it wasn't like a hell of a lot. Alright, in this video, I'm going to be showing cassettes, CDs, records, you name it, man. No 8-tracks. I don't have any 8-tracks right now. Alright. Here we got XIII's self-titled album. I think it was their debut album also. A lot of people haven't heard of XIII. They were an awesome 80s like hair metal band. It was like hair metal and new wave. Really strange combination. Never heard of that, but yeah, they have a really unique sound. They have an awesome song called Call to the Heart. Ooh, and I forgot to mention, Madam X has an awesome song called High in High School, and I pretty much enjoyed this entire album. Alright? With probably the exception of like 1 or 2 songs on this album that I didn't enjoy. Definitely check the Madam X out if you're into like Judas Priest, Motley Crue, that kind of stuff. We got Samantha Fox's Touch Me. Kind of an appropriate title, but it was a really good album. And I can't believe how many of the songs on here weren't heard on YouTube, which is really weird. The only song that I could find on YouTube was Touch Me, I Want Your Body, which was also a good song, but not my favorite on the whole album. Here we got something I've already shown in other videos. Oh, did I mention that a lot of these things you've probably already seen in my past videos, but just for the sake of showing you which ones you should check out, that's why I'm showing them again. Melissa Etheridge, Yes I Am, got it for 98 cents, can you believe that? Definitely good if you're into like Alanis Morissette or Sheryl Crow, definitely pick it up. Here we got Damn Yankees, their self-titled album, their debut album. Ted Nugent's in the band. I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of Ted Nugent's personality, but his music's pretty good. Yeah, dude, definitely check out Coming of Age and Higher. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys have probably already heard of these guys, but yeah. Now for this one single on vinyl, 45 Emmy. This is also a band. Many of you probably have heard of it, especially if you grew up in the 70s, but, a lot of people haven't heard of these guys, which surprises me, and that's sweet. Now, this song, Ballroom Blitz, it's really awesome, and it also comes with Restless, also a really good song. Definitely check out Sweet if you're into David Bowie, T-Rex, that kind of stuff. For the CDs. Now this next CD is, in my opinion, the most underrated band of all time. Definitely check them out if you're into 90s alternative and grunge and stuff like that. They're not my favorite band, but I think they are the most underrated band of all time. That is Veruca Salt with 8 Arms to Hold You. Definitely check them out if you're into like Garbage, Nirvana, Blur, that kind of stuff. Oops. See that? Really good stuff. They reunited earlier this, no, not this year, last year actually. Same lineup as the original one. I was gonna see them this year, but the tickets sold out. Here we got, yeah, definitely check out Veruca Salt, especially their song XIII and Volcano Girls, and just check out this whole album. I really enjoyed the whole album. It's really rare when I enjoy every single song on the album, but that was definitely an exception. We got I'm sorry guys, I'm having a bad hair day right now. Yeah. And here we got Wednesday 13's Bang Bang. I showed it in my last video, and you know what? It's really underrated. Wednesday 13, definitely check them out if you're into like pop punk, you know, stuff like the Misfits and Blink-182 and Sum 41. Definitely check them out. Especially check out the song My Home Sweet Homicide. That was a really good song on there. Here we have another underrated 90s female artist. There's a lot of them, but these are just the ones I have. And that's Poe with Hello. Now, if you like Veruca Salt, Sheryl Crow, Garbage, the Indigo Girls, you know, Meredith Brooke, that kind of stuff, definitely check her out. And Meredith Brooke is up next, alright? Definitely check her out, especially her song Hello, Trigger Happy Jack, and Choking the Cherry. Really good stuff. Really underrated stuff, you know. I think she was famous for like a little while on MTV in like 1995, that album. Then here we got Meredith Brooke's Blurring the Edges, which this album is the same age as me, which is crazy, alright? Blurring the Edges, in my opinion, one of the most underrated albums of all time. You know what? Definitely check it out. Man, Sheryl Crow, Alanis Morissette, Jewel, if you're into Fiona Apple, that kind of stuff, you'll definitely dig Meredith Brooke's Blurring the Edges. And she had a hit song back in '97 called Bitch. But, yeah, really good stuff. Definitely check her out if you haven't already. Oh. See that? Beautiful album. I enjoyed pretty much every song on this album. It's really rare. It's creepy how the songs, the albums I enjoyed completely are the ones that many people haven't heard of, even the artists. So yeah, definitely check out Meredith Brooke. We got the last CD I'm gonna show today. That's L7's The Beauty Process Triple Platinum. Definitely check out L7 if you're into Garbage, Hole, Veruca Salt even, you know, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, you know, those 90s alternative and grunge bands. Definitely check it out. It's kind of punk rocky. Check out their song, The Masses Are Asses, Drama. And they also had another great song on another great album called Bricks Are Heavy. The name of the song was called Pretend We're Dead. That's probably their best known song. It was on Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I'll admit that's where I found out about Veruca Salt. L7. But yeah, definitely check these girls out. It's an all-girl band. Yeah, definitely you'll definitely dig them, I'm sure. Alright, now for the vinyl. I showed this on my last video, and that's Smith with a group called Smith. Now, when I showed my last video, I never heard any songs here. I never heard of any songs by Smith, but I have heard of Smith. And after I finished listening to this album, it was just amazing, you know. I thought it was going to be like folk rock, you know, that kind of stuff. But it's actually really upbeat type music. I don't know what to describe it as, but definitely check out Smith. They had a good... This whole album was awesome. A group called Smith. Especially listen to their song, Baby It's You. Really good stuff. Now here we got something I showed in another video. And that's Girls' School with Play Dirty. No, I think Girls' School is really underrated. They had a really good song here called 20th Century Boy. Thunder. Those are my favorite songs on this album. Yeah, but definitely give them a check out. They're an all-girl heavy metal band. Definitely check them out if you haven't already. Here we got something a little bit different than what I normally listen to, and that's Helen Reddy's I Am Woman. Now, this album is really good. You know, it's got the song I Am Woman is like a really powerful song for women, and I think she's a really underrated artist. She also had, I also have one of her other albums on cassette called Ear Candy. Definitely check that one out too. But yeah, and I got it for $2.98. A lot of cheap records at my record store. Check out her song I Am Woman, and pretty much every song on this album. I kind of liked it more than Tapestry by Carole King. I'll admit that. And I think I Am Woman was actually a really big hit single for her back in the 70s. Here we got Joan Baez, Diamonds and Rust. I think she's really underrated. She's not my favorite artist. I don't really listen to that much Joan Baez, but you know, you gotta show some love for Joan. Not Joan Jett, Joan Baez. Here we have a really underrated heavy metal band. A lot of you guys probably have heard of it, and you know what? Yeah, but I think they were very underrated. The number of people who haven't heard of this band is just scary, alright? And I just can't have that, and that's Crocus, One Vice at a Time. Alright, well, the band Crocus is really underrated, I think. Yeah, definitely check out their songs, you know. Long Stick Goes Boom. Check out their song Midnight Maniac, and Screaming of the Night, I think, is a song by them. I'm not way too sure. I need to get Headhunted by them. But yeah, definitely check them out if you're into like Judas Priest, AC/DC. Yeah, the singer Mark Storrs, he sounds a lot like Brian Johnson, I think is his name, the guy from AC/DC. He sounds very much like him. I actually was convinced this was AC/DC when I was first listening to it. Here we got a new wave album. Definitely good stuff from time to time. And a lot of you guys have heard this album, and well, no, not the album, but the song. It's a really iconic song in this album, and that's Warrior by Scandal, featuring Patti Smith. Yeah, definitely check out their song The Warrior. What else? Only the Young. What else? Talk to Me is a good song. Yeah, definitely check them out if you haven't already, especially if you're into like missing persons, Billy Idol, I guess. You know, new wave from the 80s, Berlin, stuff like that, A Flock of Seagulls. It's kind of poppy also. Here we got another group, a lot of you guys may have heard of them. Some of their songs are really classic, but I never hear any of these songs on the radio, on the classic rock station, that is. And that's BTO's Not Fragile, Bachman Turner Overdrive. They're from Canada. And yeah. Also $2.98, incredibly cheap. I showed it in my last video, but yeah, definitely check them out. They had some good songs called You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet, Taking Care of Business, Roll On Down the Highway, Let It Ride, just to name a few. And yeah guys, that's it for this video. Alright VC, until next time, keep rocking.